Tom Brady, currently at the hour of 7:06 a.m. Eastern, is getting ready for, is trying to decipher, God forbid, the jersey numbers of the defensive players he'll be facing tomorrow night. He recently told Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times that the number rule, which allows linebackers, defensive backs to wear single digits and a wide range of numbers for the first time ever if they so choose, he says it's crazy. Literally, guys change their numbers today. I'm playing two guys who had different numbers in the preseason. So, yeah, you've got to watch film, know who you're studying, but so do the running backs. They've got to know who to block. So does the offensive line. So does the receivers who are adjusting their routes based on blitzes. So one guy has got a 6, one guy has an 11, one guy has a 9. They change every play. When you break your routes and get to your spot, it's going to be a very challenging thing. It's a good advantage for the defense, which that's what it is. It would be like saying, what if I let the offensive lineman wear 82 and number 9? They wouldn't know who was eligible. Well, that's not fair. You'll get your tail kicked. At least identify the defensive line, the linebackers, and the safeties. You're going to have a lot of matchups where guys are blocking the wrong guys. I don't know why that should be. Here's Brady from yesterday elaborating just a little bit on his views as it relates to this new numbers rule.
Want to talk about jersey numbers too? I could get on that. I feel pretty strongly about that. I don't want to get into it. I've already talked ad nauseum about it. Other than I think it's a stupid rule, just to put it out there one more time.
I love it.
Let me say this. This isn't something that he's just throwing out there now as some way to build in an excuse in the unlikely event they lose to the Cowboys. He's previously made this point, okay?
Yes,
now, I remember when he previously made the point, Chris, I said, hey, Tom, where the hell were you when this was merely a proposal? Why didn't you chime in then? His voice is kind of influential. Why do you wait until it's official? Secondly, the Chiefs are the ones who proposed this. You think Andy Reid is going to propose this if he thinks it's going to screw up his team's ability to move the ball down the field? I don't think so, Chris. So what's going on here?
Well, no, there is something to this. I mean, there is. It will affect the cleanness of the football game. And I know a lot of people go, first off, they go, well, it's like college football. They have all these numbers. Yes, but college football is not as advanced as the NFL as far as the protections, the rules, the amount of protections you have, all the site adjustments and those and all that goes into the playbook and the scheme. So it's simpler that way. But then, like, the thing that I think Brady's getting to and where he's talking about, yes, there are rules. There's written rules within the NFL. So a blitz pickup. Let's just say he's in the shotgun. Leonard Fournette's standing to his left, right? He's going to say what he has to say, right? Or, 52's the mic, right? All right, so 52's the mic. He's basically telling at that point, the offensive line, hey, you got the 4 down offensive lineman, or defensive lineman, excuse me, and the one guy I pointed out is your responsibility. Now, a lot of the times, the back off of that, his rules are either the next linebacker to the left of that guy that he pointed out, the Mike 52, or it could be a certain protection where his rules are don't worry about any linebackers. You have to block the first secondary blitzer that comes into play or around the line of scrimmage. And that's where Brady's concerned, because he's going to go, wait, the middle linebacker is wearing the same numbers as the safeties, and we're not going to know who's who, and we might accidentally all of a sudden have a left tackle on a smaller safety and our running back now on a big, overpowering physical linebacker, which is a matchup he doesn't want. This is where Brady thrives. This is why he doesn't like it. He's the general of all generals as far as getting everybody in the right place, getting everybody on the same page, knowing how to pick up these blitzes, and then, of course, execution, right? I mean, Brady's the all-time master at executing an offense. So from that standpoint, that's why he's bothered by it. He uses his mind as anybody, more than anybody in the history of football, or as much as the Peyton Mannings and Aaron Rodgers, and that's why it bothers him, because it's going to mess up his offense. It's going to make him think for a second longer now when he does things, instead of just being so seamless and calling the play. And now he's going to be, wait, Leonard, that's a free safety. You got to worry about him. Hey, offensive line, that's this is a linebacker. It's not the safety, and even though he's number 9. And I think that's really where his concerns really lie with this situation.
I remember a few years ago when everybody was so impressed that Sean McVay, the Rams coach, was able to rattle off the names of all of the defensive players on the Bears the week that he was getting ready to play the Bears. And look, if you don't know the names and the numbers of the defense that you're facing, what are you doing playing in the NFL? That's how I look at it. So you adapt, you adjust. And maybe it is that Brady's less concerned about his own ability to process that Micah Parsons wears number 11, not 55.
Right.
But yeah, maybe the running back isn't going to pick it up. Maybe the left tackle's not going to pick it up. Maybe the tight end's not going to pick it up. I understand that, but still, I don't think we're asking these guys to do all that much more to understand that this week 11 is a linebacker, not a safety.
Now, it is odd that they've let certain players on the Cowboys change numbers this week. So you're going to study and go, wait, this is the safety, and wait, oh no, now this week he's wearing a different number. That is a little weird. It also will affect the wide. Well, it's a split-second game. You know, that's the other thing. It's a game that moves so fast when you're on the field. You try to eliminate thinking. You know, you want it to just be reactionary. And now with, think about Mike Evans. He's split out to the left, and his rule is, I'm going to run a 10-yard out route. But if the free safety blitzes, I got to make an adjustment and run a slant route. You know, so now he's looking at coverages. He's looking at the ball snapped. Oh, wait, the coverage changed. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't know. I just saw a single digit come off the edge. Was that the linebacker or the safety? Oh, crap. I don't know what to do. And that's where I think Brady's affected by it. I mean, yes, in the long run, we know, they're going to be able to figure it out. But it's easier, to your point with Sean McVay, to rattle off the numbers and names of the players when you know the position group is going to be in a certain group of numbers. Like, oh, yeah, defensive linemen are going to be wearing 70s and 90s for the most part. Okay, it's pretty easy to figure out and remember those numbers. Now when you got guys all over the place, the nose tackle's wearing 3 and the middle linebacker's 11, and then the free safeties, number 7, it is a little harder for the quarterback and the offense in general. But yes, I hear your point. We can't complain too much because the rules are already set up for the offense in such a way. They have so many advantages. It's kind of nice to see the defense get one advantage back here.
I want to go back to a point you made.
Yeah.
That the Cowboys this week have some players who change numbers. Now, this goes back to something Tom Brady said on The Shop, the LeBron James Maverick Carter show on HBO, when he said, I only tell the truth 90% of the – or no, wait a minute. I lie 90% of the time. Slight difference. I lie 90% of the time because I conceal what I'm really thinking. Well, you know what, Tom?
Right.
If you hadn't opened your mouth about the numbers, maybe the Cowboys wouldn't be trying to mess with you. That's why you keep this stuff close to your vest if he truly is bothered by it. Now, I don't know. Is being bothered by the numbers part of the 90% when he's not telling the truth or part of the 10% when he is? I don't know that either. But when you make it known that it bugs you, hell yes, I'm going to have my guys changing as many numbers as I possibly can the week before I'm playing Tom Brady because I know it bugs him. And I want to bug him. There aren't many things that bug him. I'm going to take advantage of anything I can that will.
Yeah, no, listen, Mike, I hear you there. I mean, maybe that is something they thought of. I doubt it. I think it's really just players probably going I want to change my number and look cool in the regular season, and that guy got cut, so it's available. But I think ultimately it still goes back to Brady the general, and that's what he's bothered by. This is a guy, too, like Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and company, they invented the rule. But I can sit here and tell you, too, some of their protections aren't as advanced as what Tom Brady had in New England or even here in Tampa. And I don't want to say as advanced, but there's a little more moving parts at times. Like Kansas City could be a big, what we call a slide protection team, where it's not always, you don't always have to worry about numbers and things like that. It's like, hey, right tackle, you take this defense end, and now the other 4 offensive linemen, I want you to slide this way and take who's ever over there. And they kind of just block as a unit altogether. Brady, from where he was in New England and here in Tampa, they're into man-to-man blocking a lot, where they want the bigs on the bigs, the backs on the secondary guys or the smaller linebackers. And because of that, it affects them more than maybe the teams that just do the slide protections, because there is more communication, passing of people off. We want to keep the big guys on the big guys, so if we do have a switch, we switch with each other. We're not switching with a safety and a defensive end or something of that nature. So I think that's where it really bothers him. But I come back to one of your main points, Mike. Then this is, I love Tom Brady. I know people think I'm a hater. I love he's so open now. But I wish he would stick his damn nose out there a little bit more, like you're saying, when these conversations are going on, because he can change them. He could bring this to everybody's attention, and then all of a sudden 10 other quarterbacks get behind him and a bunch of wide receivers. And then the NFL goes, damn, okay, maybe we don't want to do this. Maybe this will make the game a little less clean and fun to watch. And that's where I wish he would just, like you said, step up to the plate there a little differently.
Now, either he knew the rule change was potentially coming and chose not to say anything just to see what would happen, or he's not reading ProFootballTalk.com or watching us in the offseason to know what rule changes are coming.
Yeah,
so,
he's
Tom, you got to step it up.
Come on, Tom.
You got to step it up, man.
Yeah.
You got to know
TB12,
what's going on.
PFT. Right.
Mitchell Schwartz knows what's going on. Here's what he had to say in response to our item pointing out Tom Brady's concerns about the numbers. This will definitely lead to a bit more work for the offense to know everyone's number and identify who the rushers are compared to coverage guys. On the flip side, a bunch of college kids just managed to do it and do it every year with zero preseason film. It'll be fine. And I think about Alabama. You know what? If this really was a benefit for defenses, the defensive players on Alabama would be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That would be your starting 11 if there was a benefit to that. Or it would just be maximum confusion. Have 99 as a safety and number 2 as a defensive tackle. You would manipulate it completely and totally to your advantage at the college level if this really was a major thing.
No, yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a major thing. But it is going to be the first time in a long time that offensive players will actually have to study the numbers of the other guys on the team, where before you didn't. You knew, like, oh, wait, this guy's wearing this number. This is this kind of player. And if he was treated differently as a DB or a linebacker or something like that, then that was identified during the week, but it was like one guy you had to worry about. The offensive line is going to have to study, the rosters a little bit and go, wait, their defensive linemen are 7, 9, 48, whatever. They have to go through all these. That's going to be different. And I just will go back to Mitchell Schwartz. I mean, he's right. If the college kids can do it, of course the NFL guys can do it, no doubt. But that goes back to, again, my complexity thing. The NFL pass protections are far more complex than college. Come on, Mike, we hear about this all the time, every year. Linemen aren't ready for the NFL. Linemen aren't ready for Why? Why is that? Because they don't do anything in college football anymore. They take one step to the right, and the guy throws a screen. They take one step to the left, and the guy throws a screen. They all block to the left, and the quarterback keeps the ball and runs to the right. It's so simple that it doesn't come into play nearly as much as it will in the NFL. And I think you will see a few mishaps in week 1 because of it.
Here's another thing, and this is the last I'll say about it before we move on, and it will be a good segue to the Patriots. If there was an advantage at the NFL level to be had, all the numbers would be configured accordingly by the New England Patriots for maximum confusion. They would have moved and changed and reissued numbers like they do at practice with Mac Jones wearing number 50.
Yeah.
Right? They would do whatever they could to take full advantage of it. And the fact that they haven't tells me that maybe it's a little overblown. And if somehow the Buccaneers lose tomorrow night, great opening line for Tom Brady will be, hey, these damn number changes messed us up offensively. See, I told you what would happen. So we'll see if there's any.
Last thing I'll say too, just to what you said, because I hope Brady wouldn't make that excuse. I don't expect him, and I expect them to be.
He doesn't have to. He's already built it in. He's already built it in.
Well, it's all right. Let's not kill him for finally breaking out of his shell and being open and fun to listen to, and not the robot he was in New England. I kind of enjoy that. I was going to make one more point, and I forgot what I was going to say, and I don't know. Oh, I was going to say maybe this is again. Let's let this percolate for a year. And then maybe we will start to see teams and coordinators and things start to mess with people with the numbers and orchestrate how they want to make the roster number-wise to see if they can mess with people. Maybe that will be an unintended consequence as we go here and teams get used to this and realize there are advantages or disadvantages to be had.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.